So we have the Queen of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Water signs, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. Someone who's really in tune with their intuition. Someone has a really bright idea here. Page of Swords, Seven of Wands, the Moon, and the Six of Wands. Something that you've been coming up with or working on silently is going to manifest itself in a way that's going to actually pay off in many ways, in more ways than you actually wanted to in the beginning anyway. There's some kind of new idea, like you're searching for new ways of maybe going about business, maybe making money, maybe what you're doing as a hobby, something that you study, whether it's for fun or for monetary gain. You have a new idea when it comes to this that's actually going to really, really help you forward. Um, you haven't really been doing anything outright. Like, I feel like this product or this idea has not been launched yet, right? You're still in the phase of thinking about it, planning, kind of rehearsing things, or just not taking the actions. It's more of like mental actions this time with the moon. But with the Six of Wands here too, it's definitely telling me that whatever this idea is with you, it's definitely going to pay off. And we have the World, the Wheel, and the Emperor in the front. This is very cyclical energy. This is getting to where you always wanted to go, making the right chess moves. Like, you're really leveling up how you progress and plan and strategize your life going forward. And you've learned not to tell anyone right away. And it's so counterintuitive because usually when we're excited about an idea or a new business venture or a new whatever, you would think that you being excited about something and you sharing it with someone around you, like a friend or a family member, would actually, you'd both share the excitement together. Sometimes that doesn't happen, so you can't really share your plans with certain people, at least not right away. It's better to show by example of being like successful and having things start to click along, and then be like, oh yeah, well, I had this little thing happening. I had this little idea that I was working on, no big deal. It's just something that I've been kind of working on myself, right? And once it starts taking off, then people are going to start to notice you kind of sitting pretty. So silence is definitely something that can help you at certain times. It could also hurt you depending on when and how you choose to use it. But in this scenario, if you're making some kind of hobby or career move or something like that, I would stay quiet and just manifest, keep it kind of hush hush until things start actually really truly clicking along for you, because they will. They will. We have a lot of circles. We have the moon. We have her sitting in a bubble. We have the world. We have the wheels. And also the Six of Wands has like garland, or I forget what it's called right now. So there's a lot of circles completing, and some circles are also forever. Also, the Emperor is sitting on a circle. So something is turning the page, I want to say, right? The Page of Swords has a book in her hands with a lot of ideas coming out of it. Like, she's becoming freed by intellect. So she's becoming free from new ideas. And that is huge because you can, I got the example of people that are locked away or incarcerated, and they find freedom in a mental state by reading. You can't chain down your mind. People can try to do that to you if you let them. But intelligence, reading, creativity, imagination cannot be chained down. So there's something here where it's making you feel free, you feel good about it, and you should. And you're going to succeed from it because you're making the right moves and you're being mature about it. The Emperor is all about success and sitting pretty on your all of the choices that you've made. So sometimes when you become successful, especially in the beginning, and you start sharing that with people around you, they can actually become jealous and hateful and dismiss your success because they're not getting it themselves. So I feel like that's one of the reasons why you're kind of keeping your lips shut at this time while you are succeeding. But again, this is a lot of things where it's almost like destined for you to continue. The page turns, the chapter is new, and the wheel keeps turning, and you're succeeding from it now. Like the wheel can go up and down, right? You're on top of things in life, and then the world is, caving on top of you, and you go back and forth and back and forth. It's part of life. You see how this woman is in tree pose, which is about being rooted, right, and secure. And also, there's a dark and a light energy going around this wheel because that is part of life. Negative and positive energies, right? As within, so without. So, like, it's just giving me now is your turn to actually be on top of things. Now is the time for you to actually start succeeding. Now's the time for you where you're actually going to be sitting on top of a lot of success, and you're gonna get a lot of notoriety here. I don't think that is your actual plan to just be noticed. I think there's some other plan underneath it, but lo and behold, through success, you gain attention. You have triggers coming out. And that card always makes me laugh because there's a misspelling on it. It says childhood wombs instead of wounds. So maybe you take that as it is. Maybe you learn to transcend through your childhood wounds. Instead of getting caught in the negative, start admiring, being inspired by you. And there's a spring card that pops out as well. So this is coming around the corner very soon for you. Spring is almost here. It might not feel like it's close, but it is, right? The light is changing. Even though it's cold and desolate, if you're in a winter state right now, it does not mean that spring isn't, popping up slowly. So there's something here that is definitely unfolding. And instead of staying in a state of the past, don't get stuck in the past. You kind of move forward in a very positive light. That's gonna look at all these colors. There's a lot of colors in this reading, and it's a rainbow of colors, So I really feel like things are just breaking open for you. We have triggers and being confused, like someone might trigger you into not doing this new idea or not trying this new idea, whatever it is. There's someone from your past maybe that might try to dissuade you from doing something new. Again, this is coming from a selfish place, not for you. It's for the other person that's selfish. You have to remember to admire yourself and where you're going, and it's really going to be inspired by you. You see, like in this card, in this reading, I'm getting like a personal admiration. You feel like, look how far I came. Look what I got out of. Look what I got through. Look at what I sustained. Look at how far I went by myself, or I stayed afloat, or whatever. I'm proud of this new idea that's going to take off. Something positive and uplifting is going to really, truly make you successful. Maybe there was a lot of separation, or maybe you have to separate around people that will try to bring you down. Again, it could be anyone. And it's confusing when people that you care about try to bring you down over something new. You just have to remember that it is not a personal attack. It's something that they're telling you they're unhappy, they're confused, but you just have to make sure to separate yourself around people like that, because they're like quicksand. They're going to bring you down with them. They don't want to see you succeed if they're not succeeding themselves. Anyone who's in your business trying to bring you down, they're not doing anything for themselves right now. They're too busy focused on you. Someone that's in their own life, doing their own things, making things happen, they are not competing so much so against other people. They're competing against themselves, and they can admire other people and be like, wow, I definitely think they're killing it in this aspect. I want to be like them one day, or I hope I'm as successful as them one day, or blah, blah, blah. But it's not like, I hate them. They shouldn't get this or that. I should get it, and it's almost like those types of people that just hate you for no reason, or want to see you fail because they're not doing anything themselves. It's just that they're bored with their own lives. They're not going out themselves, and they have too much time to think about other people and other things, right? So the only way to deal with those types of people, no matter who they are, is to separate yourself from them. You have to protect your boundaries and your space. Illusions. Beware of illusions. Proposals. Maybe if you're going into a new arena in work or something, just remember to have your wits about you. Not every single person that you do business with is going to have good intentions for you. There are snake oil salesmen out there still that are willing to manipulate and lie and do whatever they need to get one on top of you, basically, or take your money or trick you in a way where you just think you're just a little fool to them, right? Remember, have your wits about you. Still, there's going to be negative people around you in business as well. They're not going to play by the rules. They're not going to have morals. They're not going to care about being a good person, quote unquote. They're just there to get your money, right? So just be careful about people trying to persuade you, especially maybe if they're flirting with you and you know that they don't really like you. They don't even know you, but they're flirting with you to get something out of you. They're flirting with you to get your money, right? They're not flirting with you because they want to get to know you, right? And at first, you might not know the difference. That's why it's good to go slowly, whether it's a personal relationship or a business relationship. You won't know someone's intentions for a few times of like interacting with them. But especially, I guess, involving whatever idea this is, whether it's business related, hobby related, something that's new for you that you're going to try, what's going to make you succeed is just to have your wits about you and not be completely naive to people and their games. You don't have to expect people to be a bad person. You don't have to expect them to be manipulative, or narcissistic or psychopathic or something like that. But you can't discredit anyone from not being that either. So you have to just be like, all right, does this person have empathy? Are they playing fair? Are they trying to trick me? Like all the, you have to just be open-minded with answers. Divine timing. Something about being unseen and divine timing is going to definitely come into play for you, right? Make sure love can be blind, and sure, you're not overlooking red flags. Just what I was saying about someone trying to trick you through like flirting with you. Um, girls and guys can honeypot you. Okay. It's not just women that do this, men do it as well. Especially if they know that they have some sort of attractiveness to themselves, especially men, because, they can kind of double dip into society when they know that they're more attractive than other men. They tend to become a player because they can. Why not, right? And they feed into their ego and they feed into their gluttony, which makes them turn sour. But they also use that as a weapon in a sense when it comes to business. They might use their attractiveness with women to make money, plain and simple. So you just have to be aware of who's coming to you, what they're proposing, what kind of person are they, what's their track record, how do you feel around them, do you feel like it's fair, can you speak honestly with this person, do you feel like this person tells you the truth. These are all things that you have to kind of just kind of check off, because again, the illusions, the red flags, offers that might happen, proposals, just read all the whole contract before you sign anything, okay? Because a really pretty man, for instance, or a woman can come up to you with this amazing proposal of an idea and be like, you and me, and this, and that, and this. But then when you start reading through the 60-page contract, because no one likes to, just sit there for an hour and read 60 pages of this contract that you're going to sign, you start seeing all these little, things that you don't agree with. You don't, so you don't have to sign things right away. You can evaluate and come back with a counter proposal. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't mean that you have to step away from certain people, but if you're doing business, don't get swept up in handsomeness or attractiveness with people. A lot of people are dumb when it comes to that because they forget that you could be a shitty person behind a really pretty face. Okay. Not saying that every single pretty person is a shitty person either, because that is not fair at all to say. But if someone is manipulating you and they're flirting a little too much, and you know that they just want to get their hands in your pockets, in your wallet, they want to use you for their material game in some way. It's not really because they care about you or like you. It's like they're using you and they're trying to use their attractiveness to get something out of you, right? It's very psychopathic, Machiavellian. It's like, what can I do? How can I manipulate this person to get what I want out of them? Okay, so just remember, whatever you're doing, don't get swept up in the honeypot. Come on, it's always fun to be flirted with and to flirt, and it's not saying not to do that, but just remember, if you're about to sign a contract or do business with someone and they're flirting with you, just be wary of that. Be wary of that one, okay? And I'll keep it there.